dears, now we'll go to the question of find a pattern. Okay, the figure shows a series of rectangles where each rectangle is bounded by 10 dots. Question here is, how many dots are required for 7 rectangles? If the figure has 73 dots, how many rectangles would there be? Right? See the first figure, how many dots are there? 10 dots. Now you see the second figure, how many dots are there? 17 dots. In the third figure, how many dots are there? It is 24 dots. So you make it as a pattern. Draw the tabular column and write rectangles, pattern, total dots. First one is one rectangle. How many dots are there? 10. How many pattern? That is 10. Dots is 10. Make a pattern out of it, right? The middle one is a pattern. Second one is, two rectangles are there, and then you can make a pattern. How we got 10? The previous one was 10. 10 plus 7, total is 17 dots. If you see the third rectangle, the total first rectangle it was 10, right? The previous same thing we did know. The first rectangle it was 10, and if there is 2 rectangles, 10 plus 7. In the third one, 3 rectangles, 10 plus 14. So it is 10 plus 14 is 24. So you make a pattern that the first one, if you see 10 plus 0, okay. Second one is 10 plus 7, 7 ones are 7, and third one is 10 plus 14, 7 twos are 14. So you can make a pattern like this. 2 rectangles means 10 plus 7 into 1. 1 also you can write. So if you want to write 1, so 1 rectangle also we can write 10 plus 7 into 0. Okay, the first one rectangle is 10 plus 7 into 0. The second rectangle is 10 plus 7 into 1. Third rectangle is 10 plus 7 into 2, and so on. The question here asked is 7 rectangle. So it is nothing but 10 plus 7 into 7 minus 1, 6. Okay, the first one, 1 means 0, 2 means 1, 3 means 2, 7 means minus 1, 6. So it will be 10 plus 42, 52, solution. That's it. Second question asked here is, if there are 73 dots, okay, that is very simple. You write 10 plus 7x equal to 73. 7x is 73 minus 10. 7x is 63. X is 63 by 7. That is 9. So you have to add 1 to that. No, 9 plus 1, 10. So there will be 10 rectangles. Right? Now you go to the second question. 7 ex-schoolmates had a gathering. Okay, each one of them shook hands with all other ones. How many handshakes were there? Here in this example, no, you can see this is known as handshaking theorem. There is handshaking theorem that you will be studying in the graph theory, right? So you can draw, at present you can draw tabular column like this, A, B, C, D, E, F. There is 7 schoolmates, same way, A, B, C, D, E, F. Right? Like this you can draw the tabular column. A, you leave blank as it is. Okay? And B, you write, B can shake with A. Right? And C with A and C with B, because C with D and all will be doing later. Right? That's why we left all that. Okay, that's why we left. Next is D. D with A, D with B, D with C. Right? D cannot shake with D. Right? You leave it. Now you go to E. Same way you write for F. Same way you write for G. Right? You make a pattern out of it. So if you add, you will get handshakes. Handshakes for A is 6, B is 5, C is 4, D is 3, F is 2, and E is 2, F is 1. Right? Like this you prepare. And then you will get total number of handshakes is 21. It's now becomes easy to solve. So this is how we are supposed to solve the problem. This is known as, we call it as problem solving strategy. Right? And this problem solving strategy mainly given by the Polya. And some more problem solving strategy, one more is there, and we just go through it. Okay, and that is the role of heuristic for problem solving. Can use a heuristic method also for problem solving. So many other things are there. Next we will go to the Robert Gagne's theory of learning. right? Robert Ganey also talked about the problem solving principle, and he is a great psychologist. I think you know about the Robert Ganey. He's a great psychologist, and he mainly researched about the mathematics. The psychologist Robert M. Ganey had done research into the phases of learning sequence and types of learning. Okay, his research is particularly relevant for teaching mathematics. This Professor Ganey has used mathematics as a medium for testing and applying his theories about learning and has collaborated with the University of Maryland Mathematics Project in studies of Maryland Mathematics Project in studies of mathematics learning and curriculum development. So this Ganey's theory is very important, right? The objects of mathematics learning. First we'll write it down. What we are learning is nothing but okay. In this, first one is Robert Ganey's theory of learning. The object of mathematics learning. There are two objects of mathematics learning. Okay, there are, you can call it as two objects. What are they? They are direct and indirect things, which we want students to learn in mathematics. And what is direct objects? Okay, that is facts, skills, concepts, and principles. We'll write it down. There are two objects of mathematics learning. What are they? The first one is direct object. What do you call it as a direct object? You can call it as a fact. You can call it as a skills, mathematical skills and concepts. Okay, so this is the mathematical concepts. Okay, and principles. Next we talk about the indirect learning. Okay, what are indirect objects? There are direct objects, same way there are indirect objects. That is transfer of learning, next is inquiry ability, problem solving ability, self-discipline and appreciation. Self-discipline and appreciation, right? You can call it as these are the structures of mathematics. So direct objects of mathematics, that is facts and all, are four categories which mathematical content can be separated. So you can divide the mathematical content into facts, skills, concepts and principles, right? What are mathematical facts? Okay, mathematical facts are those arbitrary conventions in mathematics such as symbols of mathematics, right? One of the mathematical fact is symbols. Okay, in that is operation of that is operation addition, and if you call about the special functions in trigonometry. Okay, facts are learned through various techniques, maybe rote learning, right? Memorization, drill, practice, timed test, games, and contest. So if you want to learn about the, for example, addition or some trigonometric things, drill, do many exercise, do solve many things, so many problems. So these particular facts enter into our mind. So mainly it is for, you can practice the drill, do it again, practice, and then timed test, games, and this all help you to know about the facts, mathematical facts, right? People are considered to have learned a fact when they are state the fact, and means if you next comes the mathematical skills. Okay, second one is the skills. What you have seen is the mathematical skills. Mathematical skills are those operations and procedures. This is how you should do it. Procedures, operations, which students and mathematicians are expected to carry out with speed and accuracy. If you know the operations and procedures, then only you can do it fast, right? And correct answer. So many skills can be specified by sets of rules and instructions, ordered sequence, specific patterns. We can call it as an algorithm. So these are the steps you have to follow. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 in order to arrive at the problem. Okay, for example, if you want to solve the equation, I will tell you, if you want to solve the equation, for example, 2x plus 3 equal to 7. Okay, I am talking about the skill. What is the mathematical skill? First, what you will do, subtracting 3 on both the side, right? Step 1. So what you will get, 2x equal to 4, right? Next step, what you will do, divide to both the sides. This will be another step, right? What you will get, 2x by 2 equal to 4 by 2. So you will get x equal to 2. Okay, these are the steps, procedures. What do you call that? Steps, skills, procedures. So in order to solve the mathematical problem, right? Then comes the mathematical concept. What are the mathematical concept? A concept in mathematics, I'm talking about this, right? We talked about the fact, we discussed about the skill, we now discussing about the concept. A concept in math is an abstract idea which enables people to classify objects or events and to specify whether the objects are an events or example or non-example of the abstract idea. So something is there, whether it is example of that concept or it is not an example of that concept. For example, if you talk about the sets, right? Now I am talking about the concept. What are the mathematical concepts? Concepts here I mean mathematical concepts. For example, I am talking about the sets, right? Whether this is a set, for example, set of all whole numbers. Whether it is a set, yes. Okay, like this you can give example which are not example of that. Next, subset. Is it example or it is not an example? Equality, inequality. Is this example of triangle or it is not an example of the triangle? Cube, radius, exponent. These are the examples of the concept. A person who has learned this concept, okay, can classify the figures. Okay, next is mathematical principles. What is this? Next is the mathematical principles. What are the mathematical principles? The most complex of the mathematical objects are principles, right? Principles are sequence of concepts together to form the relationship. Okay, for example, the square of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. This is an example of the principle. So principles are nothing but the concept in together with some relationship between the concept. These are known as the mathematical principles. Okay, next we'll see in the next class.